What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily, and in this video we are checking out the Oneplus Nord N200 5G. I'm going to go over everything you need to know about this device in this video. We'll go ahead and jump right into it here and quickly go through what all comes inside the package first, and then we'll see what the Oneplus Nord N200 5G has to offer. So peeling off all that plastic wrap and sliding off the lid, the first thing we get is the N200 itself. It comes in just one color, this blue quantum finish, and we'll take a closer look at that in just a second. But digging a little deeper inside the package here, there are a few more things included. Inside the first little packet, you'll find an instructional booklet and a Nord themed card, which also has the SIM ejector tool attached to it and a diagram for inserting your SIM card. Beneath that, you also get an included charger and cable. This isn't the super crazy fast charger included with OnePlus's flagship phones. Instead, you get an 18-watt plug with a still very nice USB-A to USB-C cable. With all that stuff out of the way, here is the Nord N200 5G once again. And don't worry, that sticker on the back does come off clean and easy there. Physically, I think the N200 5G is actually a really good looking device from both the front and back. It's sort of mid-sized. It comes in at just shy of 6.5 inches. That's the screen size. And you can see that up front we do get a pretty decent screen to body ratio. There's relatively minimal bezels, that modern hole punch camera cutout in the corner that I know a lot of people prefer. There's still a bit of a bottom chin, but all in all, I think this is a solid balance of size and design. And in the hand, it's also going to be relatively comfortable for most people, I think. It's big enough to where you're getting plenty of screen real estate, but not so big where it's a stretch to reach all the edges and corners. Around back, that blue quantum finish I think looks particularly nice on this phone. It's got sort of a dark to light fade and a matte finish with just a subtle shine. It's an all plastic device though, which makes sense given its price point. There's no IP or water resistant rating either here, but overall, with that nice back cover, the polished sides, that this kind of add-on was reserved for flagship, but I can look past that. The rest of the power features are more than good enough. This phone is also powered by the Snapdragon 480 5G chipset, 4 gigs of RAM, and 64 gigs of storage. And with this, it's a one-size-fits-all sort of deal. You can't get any higher configuration, you can't spec this phone up anymore beyond throwing in an SD card, which I think you'll definitely want to do. But I know some people maybe wished this phone was a little more powerful. Here are the Geekbench scores, so you have a numeric value to sort of compare. But in general, I think this phone still feels quick enough out of the box at least. It does ship with Android 11 and OnePlus's own Oxygen OS 11 add-ons. I've personally always felt that OnePlus does a fantastic job on the software side of things with speed and optimization, as well as offering useful little tweaks and add-ons. So the basics are all here, and fans of OnePlus in general get exactly what you'd expect. Now around back with that special triple lens AI camera, the main lens here is a 13 megapixel f2.2 aperture shooter. There's also a 2 megapixel macro lens for up close photography and a 2 megapixel depth sensor to help with portrait shots. The selfie camera is a respectable 16 megapixel shooter, so all in all nothing too crazy, though I would have liked to have seen maybe a wide angle here, for example. Inside the camera app, I do think there are some nice add-ons you might not necessarily experience with similar devices, like night mode for example, pro controls, a high resolution shooting mode, and obviously the AI helper, which you can turn on or off as needed, but it basically will just attempt to identify the scene and subject you're shooting and make minor enhancements to help the shot look better. With a couple quick samples here, I think this phone does take a decent shot. The selfie camera to me looks really good right off the bat. Skin tone is exactly right. Color balance is solid. There's a little bit of smoothing, but not terrible. And detail-wise, the regular selfie is maybe a little lacking, but the portrait selfie really brings out much more detail, so that's great to see. The rear lens setup also seems pretty good too. Obviously a totally different color profile. My skin is a little brighter and more pale, I think, but it's a good looking shot nonetheless, with plenty of detail all around. So all in all, with the camera setup, at least my first impressions here, I think it's pretty good, and I look forward to putting it to the test for my full review. So with the OnePlus Nord N200 5G, I do think this phone has a lot to offer. It's a great looking device, obviously. The display with the high refresh rate is really solid. It's got a big battery inside, seemingly a decent camera setup too. It might be lacking on the performance side of things, but I think if you can keep your expectations in check, there's still a lot to like. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though, and I'll see you guys later.